64-year-old Michelle Hoskins is behind bars for hiding her mother's dead body in a deep freezer in order to keep receiving her disability benefits. On the 7th of July 2022, the authorities issued a warrant for Michelle's arrest after failing to report the death of her 93-year-old mother, Marie Hoskins, as well as tampering with evidence. Officers located Marie's body in a chest freezer on the 28th of April 2022 after completing a welfare check at a property located at 107 Paddock Street in Sebastian, Florida. While interviewed with police detectives, Michelle admitted to finding her deceased mother in her bedroom. Michelle said she subsequently purchased a deep freezer and stuffed her body inside to conceal her mother's death for concern that she would not be able to receive her disability benefits. During the execution of a search warrant on the property, a heavily sawed bed mattress was located, concealed in thick brush and covered by cut palm tree branches in the backyard. The investigation revealed Marie's death was from natural causes and that she was deceased for about 2 weeks before being placed inside the chest freezer. Michelle's currently held at the Indian River County Jail on a $10,000 bond. 48-year-old Timothy Reynolds has been fatally shot during a confrontation with squeegee workers who wash windscreens of vehicles for cash. The incident occurred at around 4:35 p.m. on the 7th of June 2022, when Timothy was driving through the intersection of Light Street and East Conway Street in Baltimore, Maryland, when he encountered squeegee workers and had a heated interaction with them. After he drove through the intersection, he parked his car and went back with a metallic baseball bat. He pointed the bat in the direction of about a dozen workers, yelling at them in a threatening manner, when 3 of them moved in and surrounded him. Timothy charged at them while swinging the bat. As he raised the bat towards one of the workers, another worker struck Timothy in the head with a rock. Timothy then stumbled around dazed. The worker which had the bat raised against him began shooting Timothy while fleeing on foot. Witnesses said they heard 5 shots fired. It's unknown if Timothy hit anyone with the bat. Timothy was transported to the local hospital in a critical condition, but died shortly thereafter. Maryland has a law known as duty to retreat, in which someone who's been attacked can't use deadly force or self-defense if it's possible to leave the situation safely. Unlike states that have stand your ground law, allowing deadly force and self-defense, Maryland's law calls for people outside of their home or business to retreat or avoid danger before using deadly force to defend themselves. Some drivers in Baltimore have complained about squeegee workers, such as blocking vehicles at green traffic lights and having windscreen wipers ripped off their vehicles. The state of Maryland and Crime Stoppers are each offering an $8,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and conviction of whoever's responsible for the murder of Timothy Reynolds. Alexis Flanner is in custody after fatally shooting her sister-in-law. The incident occurred at around 10:40 p.m. on the 7th of July 2022, when officers responded to reports of shots fired in the parking lot of the Quick Trip gas station, located at 10,738 East 61st Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. When officers arrived at the scene, they found Estrella Mendoza dead after she'd been shot in the face. Through the investigation, the authorities learnt that Estrella arrived at the gas station with her husband and sister-in-law Alexis. Estrella and Alexis walked into the store and then exited together. Then Alexis shot Estrella and fled. The authorities said there was an altercation that took place between the two just prior to the shooting. Officers quickly located Alexis near 51st and Yale, and she was taken into custody. Due to Alexis's Native American status, she was booked into jail, and the FBI will be taking over the case. 21-year-old Zamir Abraham has been fatally shot outside a gas station, and a gunman remains at large. The incident occurred just after 1:20 a.m. on the 8th of July 2022, when officers responded to the Speedway gas station, located at 2875 Stelzer Road in Columbus, Ohio, on reports of shots fired. When they arrived, they found Zamir inside his vehicle just outside the gas station with a gunshot wound. He was transported to the local hospital with life-threatening injuries, and he was pronounced dead at 2:03 a.m. The authorities believe the shooting may have stemmed from an argument between two people. Police said the gunman walked up to Zamir's car and fired shots into his vehicle. Zamir left the gas station in his car and drove the vehicle about 100 yards along Stelzer Road before he came to a stop and collapsed behind the wheel. No details have been released on the suspect, and police obtained video surveillance footage from Speedway that may have captured the shooting as the investigation into the matter continues. On the 7th of July 2022, 49-year-old Wilfred Jenkins was sentenced to 20 years in prison for stabbing his wife to death. The incident occurred at 3:47 p.m. on the 25th of October 2021, when the authorities received a request to perform a welfare check at a home located at 496 Baringa Drive in Forest Park, Ohio, on reports of a possibly suicidal individual. When officers arrived, they found Wilfred and his 47-year-old wife Huletta Jenkins covered in blood and both suffering from multiple stab wounds. Huletta was dead at the scene, but Wilfred was alive and transported to the hospital in a serious condition. The authorities said that Wilfred stabbed Huletta several times in the chest, abdomen and neck, and there were defensive wounds on her hands and arms. An autopsy confirmed she died after having her throat slit. The coroner said that bone fragments were missing from her spinal cord, suggesting that Wilfred had attempted to remove his wife's head. It's believed that after he murdered Huletta, that he unsuccessfully attempted to take his own life. However, the motive of the attack is unknown. Wilfred had also deactivated the home security camera shortly before committing the crime. The couple lived with their 2 adult sons, but neither were in the house at the time of the attack. Wilfred was initially indicted on murder and felonious assault charges, but as part of a plea deal, his charges were downgraded to involuntary manslaughter, felonious assault and tampering with evidence. It's hard to imagine the last moments of this woman's life, Hamilton County Prosecutor Joseph Deter said, following Wilfred's sentencing. Hope this result can bring closure to her family and loved ones. The judge also described Wilfred's actions as senseless and selfish. I'm so sorry, I wish I could take it all back, Wilfred said in court. I wish I could have her back in everybody's lives. Huletta's mother, Roxanne Smith, said, the only remorse you have is that you got caught. Why didn't you just leave her and let her live, she said. Wilfred was reportedly suffering from mental health problems and had been arrested in February of 2021 during what his wife had termed as a psychiatric emergency. He pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor in the case and received probation and an order to receive treatment. Wilfred used to work as a corrections officer at Lebanon Correctional Facility and as a deputy at Butler County Jail. He's ineligible for early release. 21-year-old Stuart Beck is behind bars after being accused of fatally shooting 20-year-old Michael Conrad. The incident occurred at around 2 a.m. on the 6th of July 2022, when the authorities responded to reports of a shooting at the Bay Cove Apartments, located at 19,135 US Highway 19 in Clearwater, Florida. When officers arrived, they found Michael suffering from gunshot wounds, and he was transported to the Morton Plant Hospital, where he died shortly thereafter. The investigators quickly identified Stuart as a suspect. The authorities learnt that Stuart and Michael were involved with the same woman, and that Stuart went to Michael's apartment and broke down his door before fatally shooting him. Stuart was arrested and charged with first-degree murder, and is held at the Parco County Jail.